So a lot of things that you see in the game that you may say, wow, how could that ever happen? It's happened. It's historical.
If your soul has grown weary and your heart feels tired, let the water wash away your sins. And if the snow
I've been doing my work for over 30 years, and I've met cult leaders and met, endless amount of cult followers and worked with them. And so what I see in the game is an attention to detail and accuracy that is very precise. There were conversations that I had with the team, and we talked about, how do leaders act? How do they think? How do they manipulate their followers? And why do the followers stay? Why don't they just leave? Why would they submit themselves to this? How does leader get them to do that? And so we had quite lengthy discussion, and the team did wonderful research.
if you spent your whole life working for a world that feeds on doubt.
We did a lot of research on cults before starting to develop the story. We looked into cults from all around the planet, not only in the US, and also from the past. And we tried to understand how they were functioning. And we realized that, yes, they have a vision, they have a drive. Some are really convinced that they are actually doing something that is worse. Others are more like weird stuff organized around someone that wants to be revered. We picked a little bit of inspiration from here and there, and we really focused on trying to create that character who's very charismatic, who has a lot of willpower, and who's convinced since his teenage years that the end of the world is coming. So we created that character, and when we had him, we started to think about the rest. And we also, when studying cults, we realized that they were almost like organization. So we said, okay, let's give a head to each of the organization needs. So we have someone that's here to train people, so they're ready if someone was trying to stop them. We have another one that's like the face of the group, so is inviting people in. And then we have another one, Faith, who's about keeping the people in line, because after a while you could realize that the cult is not exactly doing what they were saying, or that they are maybe too much, and then you want to leave. So she's there to make sure that you stay. So each of them had this role, and that created the hierarchy of the cult. It became ours. It was not a caricature or a direct inspiration on one cult. It was our creation, and then we went with it.
In Far Cry 5, there's the obvious danger of a heavily armed group that is killing people. I mean, that's the direct result of Father and his road to salvation, which includes weapons, killing, and brutal force. And there have been groups like that in the past. Shinrikyo of Japan, in 1995, they were trying to develop a nuclear device. They experimented with poison gas and then released poison gas on the Tokyo subway system, sending thousands of people to the hospitals of Tokyo and killing many. The leader of that group is still alive. He's waiting to be hung. He's sentenced to death. He's in prison in Japan. So the idea of how a destructive cult can become a threat to our society, Shinrikyo struck at the very core of Tokyo, its subway system. And there have been a number of groups that have lashed out in that way. What we call brainwashing is actually a synthesis of coercive persuasion, thought reform, and influence techniques that rely on control of the environment, control of information, social isolation, You see all of that in the game. And in fact, it's an opportunity for people who have wondered, you know, how do cults work and how do cult leaders control people? It's an opportunity to go inside that world and see exactly how they do it and talk to them about it. It's amazing, really, that interactive quality of video games.
I think it's going to be believable that somebody can talk you into an idea, that you can be wooed, that they can somehow change your thinking and adjust your thinking over time. And I think that that's powerful, but also scary.